Welcome back, my global family. Check out my latest episode on my podcast, Let's Talk About It with Empress. And thank you for watching. Also, I was holding off on doing this, Ramadan Mubarak, but I just feel like I need to vent. I'm sitting outside. You all know this is like my place for right now till I get my own space. Alhamdulillah for the people who have been taking, who have opened up their doors to me. I'll be on the continent soon enough, inshallah. But what I am learning is about people's character. And it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. And I'm learning about my character as well. As a black woman living in America, and I really wanted to stay away from race, but I'm really seeing, even within the Islamic community, as I've been going to some of these events, these iftars, going to prayer, different communities, just how Islam is supposed to bring us together, but I'm seeing how separate we are also. And it's disappointing. It's very, very disappointing. There are people who are suffering all over this globe. There are people who have been suffering for years. No one's suffering is more horrendous than anyone else. And I dealt with a situation last night at the Peace Iftar, and I felt like I needed to give more context of it, because when you start seeing my shorts, you may not understand what I was feeling, and what was happening and what had went on. So while we were at the Peace Iftar, and I did stream some of it on my Instagram, Global Green Book. For some reason, my YouTube channel wouldn't allow me to live stream it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. It's the night of power this week, and I'm trying to get my rest tonight, but I wanted to speak to you all before I go in the store, get something to eat, and head home. So in this situation, anyone who lives in a political city as Washington, D.C., will clearly understand, first of all, the demographics of Washington has only recently changed. Washington, D.C. was a predominantly African American city. No matter what you may have seen on the news, on the movies, they always whitewash everything. But I grew up in a very black city. You very rarely saw white people there. And when you did, you seen work going into the government officials, with Congress and things of that nature, or they were own some of the businesses, and they were gone at a certain time. And it wasn't a large immigrant community outside of Africans. You had Middle Eastern, but within those foreign communities, it was very segregated, very separate, and those who could not put themselves out of a different demographic outside of the black community, they were pretty much classified with us. But those who could maybe pass for white, such as Palestinians, Afghanis, Iranians, they did, because nobody wanted to be associated with us and nobody looked out for us. All right. And we were getting shot left and right on these streets. Nobody cried for us, nothing. I have family who is in Ethiopia who have been dealing with genocide for the last few years. I think it's It got really bad in 2020. They were lying, but everyone was focused on other things. But the murdering, the killing of children, the brutalization, of women, and and I don't know if I'm going to have my chance. They're going to cut me off for saying certain things, but it was horrendous, and it's horrendous. So we've been dealing with the G word in Ethiopia, in Sudan, in Haiti, and Congo. Nobody cried for us. It has been video cam, but no reporter, no news media, nobody would highlight it. Nobody would step in and fight for us. Understand that. However, me as a black woman, I go to those protests. I go to protests for the Palestinians, for the Africans, for my people, but nobody cries for us. And I'm saying this because it was really disheartening when we went into this Peace Iftar, hence the word peace. And it was for Palestine, because what's happening over there is horrible. And I'm not about injustice for anyone. And I speak out for anyone who is being victimized, right? So when you're dealing with the government officials here, DC has no power. Like, literally, we don't even have representation. We have no power. All the states and DC government, all our money goes to the federal government. They may be working out of here, out of DC, but the DC government is separate from the federal government. The buildings are, they have their own buildings, their own meetings, the Senate, all that is separate. DC government is just trying to get, better books for the students who go to school here, to get better policing so that we are not victimized here. DC government limitation is very, very small, right? And so when it's dealing with global situation, it has no power. And a lot of the immigrants who come here don't understand how the government works here, unfortunately. So they think that DC government has more power in global situation and global environment and what have you. And so this Peace Iftar was about trying to find a way to redirect money that DC government was using to fund this, that the federal government was funding for this war in Palestine, to redirect it to help the situation with the black community, the poor community in Washington, D.C. Because we still have to take care of our people here too. So that would cause less crime, because there are still people who are poor here, who are starving here, who are homeless here, and to find a way where they don't have to rob and kill and murder people just so that they can see the next day. Because desperate means cause for desperate acts, right? So when we got there, it's a Peace Iftar for Palestine, so it's going to help Palestinians if we do not send money to support these horrendous acts, right? And we can redirect the money to help the disenfranchised youth. I hope I'm saying the right words, because English is not my first language, especially when I get frustrated. It was stolen from me. In the District of Columbia. It was a group of Palestinians who came and wanted to create this whole scenario, and I don't know if they understood what have you, and I know the emotions were high, but it turned out they forgot they didn't see their whole audience. There were Ethiopians in the audience. There was people from Haiti in the audience who are also suffering. And we're all there to support. And they turned it into their own kind of political outcry and forgot that there are other disenfranchised people who are sitting there supporting them, and you're trying to take away a situation that's not only going to help you but help us. And sometimes the caucasity of it all, I'm just calling it what it is, and people may get mad at me, but it's the caucasity of it all, because not one of them were crying for my people, but we're there to support you, but you wanted to just disrespect the entire thing, and it's a stuck for life. Thank you for your support. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. 1200, we're trying to get there, y'all.